So why is there so much black man on black man blaming? I believe it's done out of powerlessness. The only safe target in this society is black men. Black men are safe on two levels. Firstly, black men are a high visibility underachieving group whom everybody, including a certain type of black man, feels they can look down on for one reason or another. If you're looking for someone to compare yourself to and come out looking like a success, then the underachieving black man serves as a handy crutch. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take the self-titled, self-exalting good black man. He only compares himself to black men whom he believes are failing on some level. But the patheticness of it runs deeper than that, because the definition of good man doesn't even come from themselves. It's a set of woman-conceived preferences that the self-titled, self-exalting good black man claims to own because he thinks it'll attract women. When it doesn't, he whines, bitches and backbites at women for choosing the wrong man. And the wrong man is any man who doesn't appear to conform to the preferences that women express. Why does the self-titled, self-exalting good black man only compare himself to underachieving black men? Why doesn't he compare himself to high-achieving men? Because he himself is an underachiever. His petty obsession over who women choose tells you that this is a man who is nothing and has nothing. Otherwise he would concern himself with something of greater consequence. Why doesn't the self-titled, self-exalting good black man compare himself to underachieving non-black men? Because their brethren wouldn't tolerate it. They would rain fire on these sackless Uncle Toms. Hence, the only safe target is an underachieving black man, because no one is going to fire back on his behalf. These kinds of males make me ashamed to be a black man. I can't stand them. They are the epitome of castrated manhood. Only among black men is it okay to dog your own brothers. White men don't do this to white men. Asian men don't do this to Asian men. Jewish men don't do it to Jewish men. But black men do it to each other because we are powerless to do it to anyone else. This is why these clowns have such a heavy emotional investment in the thug myth. It's the only thing that saves them from being a nigger, just as whiteness saves underachieving whites from niggerhood. And it's the same thing with black women who brag about their phony affirmative action, education and jobs, which in their deluded minds make them too big for something as lowly as a black man. Hock and spit. So there's a bunch of people who depend on that thug myth for their self-esteem, because without thug, they would be the bottom of the pile trash. Rather than look up at the top and ask ourselves why we have to look up instead of across, we look downwards and delude ourselves that we are better morally and better off materially than the black man we see beneath us, when in truth all we're seeing is ourselves on a very bad day. It never occurs to any thug blamer, be they black male or black female, that comparing yourself to an underachiever only shows just how closely you resemble them. That's why I don't engage in thug blaming, because for me we are all in the same boat. There is no qualitative difference between any two black men living in Western society. Among black men, there are no princes and paupers, because every black man is equal to every other black man in our mutual powerlessness. Look at the furore over Tiger Woods getting a little extramarital pussy in. People are talking as if the man went on a serial killing rampage, rather than just a serial fucking binge, which is what every man in the world would do in the same position. When you've got $1 billion, you're supposed to be able to fuck who you want when you want, just like every other billionaire in the world is doing as we speak. But if you're a black billionaire, you're only allowed to fuck the same tired old bitch for the rest of your natural life, or at least until she's put in enough years for a judge to dismantle your fortune and split it 3 ways between your ex-wife, your lawyers, and the state. Tiger Woods should be able to call a press conference to put his side of the story. His statement should go something like this. In light of the controversy surrounding the revelations about my private life, I've decided to end my marriage for the following reasons: to escape the boredom of domestic routine, to escape the pressure to perform both in and out of the bedroom, and to reject my wife's objectification of me as a success object. I'm taking all the money I earned with no help from anyone but my father to go on a voyage of self-discovery. Furthermore, I will be prosecuting my soon-to-be ex-wife to the fullest extent of the law on assault and criminal damage charges for attacking me and destroying my car with a golf club. I know that she may have felt provoked on learning of my infidelity, but no one has the right to put their hands on anyone, no matter what the provocation. I've also submitted a complaint to the local police department regarding the inappropriate questioning I was subject to by police officers attending the scene of the accident. I felt victimized a second time by the racial profiling presumption that a black man is never victim, only perp. That's right. That is what this fool should be able to say. However, he's on his own, unprotected, and unsupported by anyone. Here we have a billionaire black man who can't keep his wife in check, keep the news of his exotic sex life out of the papers, and the police at bay. He is as powerless as any so-called underachieving or failing black man. Now, if he was a black man who understood the times he lived in, he would identify himself first and foremost as a black man who likes being a black man. That would earn him respect among righteous, clear-thinking black men who are the only black men capable of standing guard over a black man's best interests. But like any thug-blaming Uncle Tom, this fool wants to play down his blackness and claim every ethnicity except the African part. When you deny your own, your denials don't just reach the minds of those you deny. Your denials also penetrate the minds of those who are waiting for the first chance to take a nigger out, and it's only a matter of time before that day comes. You can count on that. They know that no one will speak out on your behalf, and they'll have fun lynching your misbegotten Uncle Tom ass, just as they're doing with Tiger Woods. There is no escaping the black male experience by claiming some virtue or quality that you think differentiates you from the rest of black men. We are all subject to the same system of control. Tiger Woods' experience is very instructive, because he is another misguided buffoon who was seduced by the adulation of whites to reject his own people, and thought talent, money, and interracial marriage was a way out of the black experience. He was wrong, and if you think like him, you are wrong too. More later.